The saga over Zendaya Coleman's 2015 Oscar Awards dreadlocks and the skinny racist bitch who tried to snatch her bald continues. Here's how Princess Z, warrior of the dreadlocks, killed the evil Skeletor. TMZ writes, quote, Kelly Osbourne just dropped an ultimatum on Giuliana Rancic and their, quote, fashion police bosses. Issue a mea culpa for saying Zendaya smells like a hippie pot smoker or she'll quit the show. Kelly is responding to the firestorm Giuliana sparked with a comment about the Disney star's Oscar look, which included new dreadlocks. Rancic said she thought Zendaya must smell like patchouli oil or weed. Kathy Griffin joined in on the weed comment. Kelly went off on a Twitter rant saying, quote, I'm giving everyone involved 24 hours to make it right or the world will hear how I really feel. She added she doesn't condone racism and is seriously questioning staying on the show. Osbourne reminded fans she's friends with Zendaya, who herself blasted Rancic for making such an quote outrageously offensive stereotypical comment. It sounds like no one involved is buying Giuliana's claim her remarks had nothing to do with racism, end quote. Okay, so here's Kelly Osbourne's actual tweets. She said, and I quote, I will not be dragged into this. The situation is being rectified like adults by both parties. I hope you can leave it to them and do the same. You guys do realize that at Zendaya is my friend, right? I'm giving everyone about 24 hours to make it right or the world will hear how I really feel. Contactually, I guess she meant to say contractually, I'm not allowed to speak. I did not make the weed comment. I do not condone racism, so as a result of this, I'm seriously questioning staying on the show. Then she went on to say, it takes a strong woman to apologize and makes a forgiving woman even stronger. Hashtag this too shall pass. End quote. Giuliana took Kelly's advice and apologized to Princess Z, Zendaya Coleman. I posted the video on my blog at the meatmagazine.blogspot.com website. There's a link below in the description box underneath this YouTube video, which will take you there. And you'll be able to, read it for yourself so you can see exactly what it was that she had to say. Because I'm not going to play that video for you because I don't own the e-copyright. So there you go. Yeah. So after Giuliana apologized, Zendaya posted this incredibly epic and genius message on Twitter as a response to the video. Zendaya said, and I quote, studies have shown that even though we try to act without prejudice, sometimes it's just hidden inside us due to our past or surroundings. That hidden prejudice is often influential in our actions. It's our job to spot these issues within others and ourselves and destroy them before they become hurtful. I have so many people looking up to me that I couldn't be scared, wait it out, nor could I just stand up for me. I had to do it for we. It is important in this journey to remember that just because someone has inflicted hurt upon us, it does not give us the right to do the same. Body shaming and other hurtful tactics will never get the job done. As hard as it was to stop myself from being ignorant and from posting the first mean words that came to my mind because I was hurt, I had to think about the bigger picture. Instead, I sat for 2 hours on my phone doing my research and formulated an educated response. Giuliana, I appreciate your apology, and I'm glad it was a learning experience for you and for the network. I hope that others negatively affected by her words can also find it in their hearts to accept her apology as well. From a quote we all know by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., quote, darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. Let's be that light and spread that love. And then she says it was signed Zendaya Coleman. Okay, so here's my opinion on the whole thing. The only thing I disagree with was Princess Z quoting Martin Luther King. The only thing Martin Luther King did for his people was help them get healthy and fit bodies, including some very muscular calf muscles from all of that power walking, or marching as they called it back then. Now, for the record, I wouldn't have responded the way Zendaya did. Sometimes you gotta fight stereotypes with stereotypes, and currently white people don't have any bad and or damaging stereotypes about them. Still, I would have told that bitch that she was crawling with lice, and white people have to comb their hair with a tick comb made for regular dogs, but it works pretty well on human dogs sometimes as well. Sounds pretty fucked up, right? But I don't give a shit. After what she said, it was fair game. Fire for fire, bitch. I usually say people need to walk away and play nice, but when someone is being blatantly racist, joking or not, they've opened the floodgates for the same negative energy, so let the insult slinging commence. But I still think she should have never apologized. We know she meant what she said. Besides, I expected Skeletor to have a fucking backbone anyway. And for the record, a lot of racist people hide behind the guise of jokes and stereotypes. They use these, quote, jokes as a shield to protect them from scrutiny. When they are eventually called out for being a racist scumbag, they claim that they were merely, quote, joking. Furthermore, at times they will claim to be the victim as opposed to the predator and aggressor. Additionally, at times they're depicted in the media as being the victims because they were judged and faced a negative response for telling an alleged joke, so they're able to, spin it around to their advantage and then come out somehow looking like the victim with the help of the media. I mean, we should all be able to take a joke, right? If it is in fact a joke, that is. But how do you prove you were just joking? Oh, that's right. Stick figure can always say she just fucked an N-word, or at least befriended one. I mean, how can she be racist if she drinks her coffee black and fucks with the lights off? Right? Anyway, where do such stereotypes come from? Why do people associate a natural hairdo such as dreadlocks with marijuana and patchouli oil? Stereotypes such as these come from the media, especially movies. In the 90s, movies depicted Jamaicans as dreadlock wearing, weed smoking fruit bats who were given their own day of the week. You know, Jamaican Day. Monday, the day of the Muns. No, but seriously, seeing people depicted in a negative light in repetition, combined with the fact that many Caucasian people cannot differentiate fantasy from reality, this quote-unquote art becomes these people's perception. And then the perception becomes quote-unquote truth. Even though in the real reality, it's all a lie. It's one big mind trick, if that makes any sense. The fantasy or art becomes perception. Perception becomes truth, which people perceive as reality. Anyway, here's another example of the media turning mere fiction and fantasy into what some perceive as reality. In the 90s, young so-called urban, so-called black men were depicted in all forms of media, including but not limited to music, movies, magazines, the nightly news, etc., as baggy jeans and hooded sweatshirt wearing criminals. The 90s movies, which were written and directed by Caucasian people, were particularly damaging. They often depicted young brown men holding and shooting guns sideways. And to this very day, 20 years later, from time to time, a white supremacist will say something like, quote, "You black men are always shooting at each other, and you can't even shoot. You're always missing. You hold your gun sideways." And I shit you not, I hear a demon say this from time to time. All because this image was shown in repetition so many times, it became a false reality for many viewers. So literally, people still talk about that shit to this day, and it was something that was shown in movies. This is where racial profiling comes from. Irresponsible people in the media attaching negative stigmas to benign things, such as baggy pants, which is benign, and then they'll say baggy pants equal criminal. Then they show these concocted images in repetition until the idea sticks, and people believe them and regurgitate them. And then the victims sometimes want to live them out because, hell, even they believe this must be who I am because everybody keeps saying it, you know? Welcome to Zombie Land. But this is all my opinion. I've taken up enough of your time. It's been over 10 minutes. Let me know what you think about it all below. Be sure to subscribe to the Meat Magazine YouTube channel. Visit meatmagazine.blogspot.com for more.